Hello. Live both on Instagram and Facebook. So, because I had a ton of webinars today, I took a half-hour lunch at 11:30, then taking a half-hour lunch at 2:15. So this is just how I'm going to get it done. It is about flexibility, right? So everything going on with COVID-19, yes, I'm working from home. Yes, I still work in social work. I'm still an investigator for Adult Protective Services, but we're working virtually from home. We are going to be facing into seeing people face to face. We're going to be calling people and doing COVID-19 assessments over the phone to see if it's even safe to go see them, trying to see people outside in the fresh outdoors. We're going to have PPE equipment. So, it's a different time to work as a social worker. Not many places have you working virtually, but we are mostly working virtually. We go into the office for 4 hours on Thursday. All the employees are rotating in, but for the most part, we're working virtually. So it's really, really been about structuring my time. So I get in my 8 hours of work on my social work job, plus take care of the kids, feed them when it's time to eat, take my lunch breaks, take my time to feed my mind, keep myself in a positive mind space. And I've really not been watching the news a whole lot because everything that's going on with COVID-19, George Floyd, the protests, the riots, everything that's going on in the world, mass, social distancing, it's just a crazy time right now. And I think the most important thing to do right now is to feed positivity. Yes, I'm sharing information that I'm finding helpful. Yes, I've shared my perspective on this a few times, but I just feel like I can't really share that much of my perspective because I don't know what it feels like. The only thing I can speak to is be discriminated on as a woman. I can speak to that, but when it comes to race, I can't speak to that. And, I grew up pretty white privileged. Where I'm from is pretty white, pretty non-diverse. And I've had to really, really push myself to educate myself, to listen to podcasts that I'm going to learn these things. I ordered a book to educate myself. I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but I shared it on my stories, I believe Sunday. I shared it on what I'm going to be reading next. So I'm just really, really trying to educate myself and not listen to the propaganda and not really follow what everybody else is doing, because I need to keep myself positive as a person who is very prone to depression. Yes, I'm on antidepressants. Yes, I have a therapist that I'm seeing virtually. So I have to really, really focus on my own mental health, because there's a lot of people counting on me, right? My family is here. My kids are here. My son has been in virtual school since March. My daughter, fingers crossed, will be starting 4-year-old kindergarten next year. My husband's working from home. So, we are all here. We've all been spending a lot of time together. And there are things that I try not to look at social media, but a very, very amazing couple that I really, really look up to is splitting up. Just people saying things that you just didn't expect them to say. Threats, the racism, the sexism, just all the things I'm seeing has really made me reflect on how I want to show up on social media, how I want to share my story, how I want to share this opportunity. Because yes, it's hard to talk about our health. Yes, it's hard to talk about starting a business. Yeah, it's hard to do all those things. But yes, Rachel Hollis. Yes, it's very hard to share all those things. But you know what? Somebody out there might need it. People are losing their jobs. There's tens of millions of people that are unemployed that might be looking for an opportunity, right? So do I be afraid to share it? And maybe that person doesn't have money to feed their kids. They can't pay their rent. They can't pay their mortgage. So keeping it to myself, being like worrying what people are going to think about me is not the way to go, right? So, I've been an entrepreneur. On the 19th, it'll be 10 years that I've been with Beachbody as a coach. And that's a long time. So yes, my business has had ups and downs. Yes, it has been very, very financially sustainable for about 2 years. It was very, very profitable. But then, I lost my daughter and my whole world changed. Well, guess what? It's all changing again, right? This COVID-19 stuff, these protests, you know, everything that's going on in our world right now, the economy falling, right? These things are reality. Our kids are being homeschooled, right? Our kids are home. They're not at school. We can't go to restaurants. We can't go to bars. We can't do this. We can't do that. Obviously, it all depends on where you live. But for me in Wisconsin and Illinois, I work in Illinois, it is just a lot of you can do this, you can't do this, you can't, telling us what to do, right? And I think that it is just getting to a lot of people. For me, I'm a homebody. So what? Staying home for me doesn't bother me. For me, keeping my family safe is the most important thing. I've had clients die from COVID, so I know that it's not a scam. If you're disagreeing with the things I'm saying right now, just unsubscribe right now, because seriously, this is me. This is the kinds of things I share. I'm a social worker. I don't speak about politics on social media. I just don't, period. I do things to lift people up. I share my workouts. I share what I'm reading. I share what I'm doing to journal and keep myself in a positive mindset. I share the podcasts I'm doing. I share the things I do with my kids, right? I share about this coaching opportunity. I share about my boot camps. I share about these at-home workout programs, because a lot of gyms still aren't open, or people would have to wear a mask to go work out and they don't want to, right? So I have a solution for people, and for me not to share that is a horrible thing. So I'm not caring what people are thinking. If you don't like that I'm sharing this, don't follow me. I'm just being honest. I don't need the followers. I am here to share. I am here to motivate. I'm here to inspire, because I have been in bad places before. To be honest, right now, I'm not in that bad of a place. Me and my husband both have our jobs. We're still getting the same pay. It's really not that bad for us. Yes, being home away from people is hard. We did see my husband's family over the weekend. It was amazing to spend time with my nephews and nieces, and great niece that I never even met before. It was nice to be around people again, right? That was really, really nice. But it's still out there. I could still, when I go back to doing face-to-face visits with clients, even though I'm taking all these precautions that I need to take for the state of Illinois, things could still happen, right? You could still be exposed. You could be exposed anywhere, right? You could be exposed at a gas station. You could be exposed at the grocery store. You could be exposed anywhere. You could be exposed. Who even knows? Who knows what the real news is anymore, right? Who even knows? So all I know is that I can protect me and my family. I can continue to show up for the people that look for me to show up, right? A lot of people follow me for inspiration, motivation, because I've been through a lot of hard things, right? I was adopted. That was a hard thing to learn about. Accepting a new brother that was adopted was a hard thing as a kid. Being in competitive horseback riding, that was a hard thing. College, getting independence, that was a hard thing for me, right? Alcoholism, that was real for me. Domestic violence, that was real for me. Being a pregnant single mom living with her parents, trying to get her college degree, that was a thing for me. Having to be on Badger Care was a thing for me. Having to be on food stamps was a thing for me. Not having health insurance was a thing. Going back to college when I'm 27, living in my parents' house with a baby and working at Starbucks was a real thing. It's just, I've been through the hard things, right? I've lost jobs. I have realized that there are jobs that just suck the soul out of me, right? Those are things that I've realized. I've had a lot of good things too, right? I met my husband 9 years ago. He's amazing. But amidst all that, my son was being diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. His biological father basically abandoned him. That's a real thing. Moved in with my boyfriend at the time, had Beachbody, was a social worker. Social work is not a very high paying job, but I've been through the hard things, right? We bought a house together. We fixed the house up. We sold the house, built our dream home. So, these are all things that I've been through. Losing a child, having our daughter have a heart attack and being interrogated police. That was something that happened. I know this is the kind of thing that happens to people of different races all the time, being interrogated by police. So yeah, we are a family of white privilege, and yes, we were interrogated, them thinking that we potentially caused our daughter's death. Yes, that is real, and I know that is like the reality almost every day to a lot of people. And I am blessed that that is not my reality almost every single day. And this coaching opportunity in the last 10 years has done so much. So the coaching opportunity made it so I didn't stress when I was graduating from grad school about finding a job, because coaching was helping support me and my son while I was still working at Starbucks. Coaching made it so after having the twins, I was able to stay home with our daughter for 18 months. Plus, when she passed away, I didn't have to worry about going back to a social work job, a social work office, right? I didn't have to worry about that. That's another thing coaching did for us. The support from the coaching community when we lost our daughter helped us raise money to pay for her funeral, for the casket. These are things that you don't think about you're going to have to do with your 12-day-old daughter. You don't think about having to pick out her casket. You don't think about planning her funeral or paying for her burial or doing any of those things, because that's not the norm of what people think is really going to happen. But the Beachbody community helped raise money for us. My social work family, my friends helped raise money to help us with that. Beachbody helped us put the down payment on our house. It helped us to remodel that said house so we would get a really, really, really big profit and be able to build our dream home. Beachbody helps it so we can travel with cash. We were going to go on a trip to San Diego for my husband's 40th birthday, but obviously, that's not going to happen thanks to COVID. But, that money can be saved because we're going to take our kids to Disney next year. These are not things that I thought I was going to be able to do 13 years ago, 14 years ago, when I was looking down the barrel of being a single mom with no college education. Living with my parents. Like, those are not the things that I thought would happen to me. I was a deathly shy person. Public speaking, doing a video like this, I never would have done before Beachbody. So all the things, I lost 75 pounds after my first pregnancy, working on losing 100 pounds after a twin pregnancy, right? Each of those baby girls were 7.5 pounds, plus all the other stuff that was in there. That was a lot. So yes, I had 100 pounds to lose when I had those babies in 2015. Am I struggling? Yes. Why am I struggling? Why am I not at my goal weight yet? Depression. Postpartum depression combined with losing a baby. It's real, guys. This is real life. And I don't like to follow the coaches, the entrepreneurs that make it look perfect, that make everything look happy and jolly, and that this business just changes your life every single day. No, guys, it is hard, but you want to help people. You want to help people lose weight. You want to make money. You want to build a team of other people that are helping other people. You want to not have to worry about finding a job when all those COVID stuff is over. You want to build a business. This can do it. You're going to have to put in work. You're going to have to put in the work of a regular full-time job if you don't have another job, if you really want to build this fast. But I built this thing almost all the time. When I built this thing, I was not working. There was just that 18 months that I wasn't working, that I was home with my daughter, that I didn't have a job besides Beachbody. I've just really, really learned, just really had to learn to be organized, to really, really plan out my days, because I just found it was easier to build this business with little pockets of time. It just has always worked better for me, like on lunch breaks, on after the kids go to bed, wake up early and work my business. That is really the pockets of time, because even though I am home 24/7, I still have to put in 8 hours of my full-time job. I still have clients to call. I still have paperwork to do. I still have trainings to listen to. I still have to get records. I still have things I need to do even though I'm at home, but I have a lot more control of my schedule. So that is the joy of this, that yeah, anything can happen, but this business, all I really do is I share my journey on social media. I connect with people that are watching my stories or comment on my posts or have gotten in my DMs and talked to me and said that they're interested, because it does happen. But that is really how I built this business, is just by showing up, being consistent, sharing how much this has changed my life, because it has literally changed my life. Um, you know, I would have to worry about COVID-19 right now. I would have to worry about it a lot if I didn't have Beachbody, because, it is extra money. There was a point, disclaimer, Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success or income. The amount of effort you put in equals what you're going to get out of it, okay? There was a time when I was making double what I was making as a social worker with Beachbody. I made $68,000 2015, the year I lost our daughter. I made $67,000 that year just with Beachbody. And then I also worked whatever 10 months at my full-time job. Guys, that's life-changing. A couple $100 a week, couple $100 a month is life-changing during this time. Is that what you need? Do you need something right now? Shoot me a message. You want to know the ins and outs of how you earn money? I can share that with you. I can share all the videos on that stuff. But if this is something you need right now, if you need to take care of your health, you need to take care of your babies, you need to take care of your loved ones and yourself, this is what you need. Just think about it.